For more, let's welcome retired U.S. Army Major General William Enyart. Major General, it's always good to have you, especially in this moment right now. As we just heard in Joe's report, the American death toll has now risen. At least 25 Americans are dead, with at least 17 others still unaccounted for. With that being said, sir, compounded with the reality that those numbers probably will only continue to rise, what lengths do we see the United States go to in finding these hostages and bringing them back home safely?
Well, good morning, Markie. The U.S. is going to turn its really formidable intelligence gathering operation to locating the hostages. We probably have the best signals intelligence in the world, and we'll be sharing that intelligence with the Israelis. And more than likely, once we've located the hostages, the Israelis will do the boots on the ground work. While it's possible that we could launch a smash and grab raid like the one that killed Osama bin Laden, the Israelis have the military infrastructure already in place, and they certainly have a past experience in doing these kind of operations. And the hostages really complicate Israel's options as well as ours. Hamas needs to consider that the hostages only have value as long as they're alive, and as long as the other side, that is the Israelis and us, believe that there's a chance to recover them. Now, should Hamas start executing the hostages and playing video of it, as they've threatened to do, Israel is likely to conclude that there's little or no chance to save them and will act accordingly. So it's really in Hamas's best interest to not follow through on its threats, but then suicide bombers operate under different rules of logic.
Yeah. I know you've also told our team, Major General, you've reiterated, make no mistake, this is going to be a difficult mission, a dangerous mission with a high potential for failure. What do you mean by failure?
Well, failure means the death of the hostages as well as the death of the rescuers. We've seen these kind of operations, rescue operations, go bad in the past. Sometimes they succeed brilliantly, and sometimes they fail miserably. And a lot of it is the luck of the draw. We're talking about the Gaza Strip is about half the size of the city of Chicago, with over 2 million people packed in there. You're in a dense urban environment. It's Hamas's home territory. They've had plenty of time to build tunnels and fortify themselves. And they're equipped with weapons, close-range weapons that are effective.
Yeah, we've heard reports that they've been planning this for quite some time, maybe even up to a year. And General, I wanted your take, too, on President Biden's national address that we heard earlier in the week on Tuesday. We heard him condemn the violence. He called Hamas sheer evil, called on Congress to fund urgent national security requirements, announced the sending of his carrier strike group, etc. But he didn't demand that Hamas release the U.S. hostages, and he didn't directly warn them that they'd be punished if they refused. In your eyes, were his remarks strong enough, sir?
Well, I certainly think so. And it's more than just the remarks. It's the actions that we see. We're dispatching a second aircraft carrier group. We've got lots of air power in the vicinity. And we've already landed the first airplane loads of munitions to support the Israelis. So actions often speak louder than words. And I think we're doing the things that need to be done.
And lastly, the Pentagon reportedly concerned that Iran might use the attack in Israel as an opportunity to strike American troops that are in that region. How realistic of a threat do Iran and its proxies pose to U.S. service members in the Middle East at this time?
Well, I don't think it's very likely that Iran itself will make an attack on U.S. service members at this time. But it's clear that their proxies will absolutely do that. Their proxies have been launching attacks on us for decades, and multiple times a year. Remember the USS Cole, where a suicide boat attacked the U.S. destroyer, killing sailors. We've had the attack on Khobar Towers, another suicide bomber. We've had attacks on U.S. embassies throughout Africa, as well as bombs going off in cafes in Spain and in Germany, all of which are designed to kill U.S. service members. Yeah. So I don't think there's any doubt that we'll see attacks. And I think every service member, every diplomat, every U.S. diplomat, and every U.S. citizen who's in the region should be very aware of their surroundings.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.